Hey, what's going on? It's Stokely from Sauce on Delay. What do I want to say? Okay, so I did like 2 episodes on erectile dysfunction. It's something very close to my heart, air quotes, right? So the you can go back to listen to those. I don't really want to talk about it again. But it's only fair that we balance it out by talking about female sexual dysfunction. And I haven't done much research into it, but female sexual dysfunction is from the statistics that I've looked at, up to something like 75%. Is that the number I found? Let me. I don't know if I'll be able to find it right now because I have so many screenshots of information that I can't. Legit. I can't like. Oh, wait a minute. Let me check my albums. Okay, let me see here. Screenshots. I have 2,186 screenshots. Can you believe that? Oh my goodness. Let's see here. I don't know. Or you know what? I don't need to actually look through my screenshots. What I should actually do is look through my is just ask AI or ask the browser. But I've already asked the browser before, and I know I have the information here. Okay, no, that's something else. No. Anyhow, but let's just fill up the air with some nonsense, useful speech right now. The female sexual dysfunction can be onset by similar things as men regarding, like stress is one thing. If I would go by my opinion, in addition to also hormone imbalances, and the way how I view hormone imbalances, they're very much associated with the liver and the kidneys, proper function of the liver and the kidneys. I haven't spoke about the thyroid. Thyroid is also significantly involved in the endocrine system, but I haven't really been looking into that or researching that, or I haven't come across it recently in my little in my my traversing of the internet. Things like okay, here we go. Health status. This is from Meta AI. This was from Facebook's AI or Instagram's AI. Let's see here. Education level. What is this? According to various studies, this is Meta AI providing me this information. According to various studies and data, here are some of the insights into the demographics of women with sexual dysfunction. Okay, let's not talk about the demographics. I'm sorry. Let's go back. According to various studies and estimates, approximately 40 to 60% of women experience some form of sexual dysfunction, which can include decreased libido, difficulty achieving orgasm, painful intercourse, vaginal dryness or decreased lubrication, decreased arousal or pleasure. I'm not a woman, but I wouldn't necessarily believe some of these are sexual dysfunction necessarily. Like decreased arousal and decreased libido sound like the same thing. But anyhow, 40 to 60%. So that's a significant portion of the population. I've already spoken about men. It's something like 20 to 30 something percent in like Europe, and in the worst cases in the Philippines, it's up to like, I don't know, 60 almost. It's the majority in Philippines for some reason, and I attribute that to stress. But okay, let's see here. So it says, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this information is. They're using some terminologies I don't understand, but let's go. Factors contributing to female sexual dysfunction include hormonal changes, for example, menopause and pregnancy. Age, that links right back to menopause. It seems redundant, right? Medical conditions, diabetes and hypertension. Diabetes, that's your pancreas, not working right? Which causes a lot of other inflammation related issues, because diabetes, your pancreas is pushing out cortisol and your body's not processing it, right? That's how I interpret it, but I might be off by that assumption that the cortisol is a stress hormone. If you're in a stressful situation, if you're feeling stressed all the time, your body's not necessarily in a healing condition, you know what I mean? So you're doing more destruction than you're doing building. Let's at least agree on that. So medications, antidepressants, blood pressure meds. Well, we know that antidepressants are one of the drugs most found in the wastewater treatment plant when they sample the water, antidepressants. And we know that there's about 24% of women that are currently on antidepressants, right? And there's a significant amount of the U.S. population in general, male, female, or other, that are on antidepressants. So let's see what else. Psychological factors. This is what I call stress, but anyway. Psychological factors: stress, anxiety, and depression. This answer seems redundant, just like antidepressant, whatever. Relationship issues, like a guy on the internet would say, she don't like you. Okay, so that's relationship issues. That's another stressor. Trauma or abuse. That's, in my opinion, that's like PTSD and trauma, like PTSD basically. Then Meta goes on to say, it is essential to recognize that female sexual dysfunction is a common and treatable condition. If you are someone you know is experiencing sexual difficulties, consult a healthcare provider or sex therapist for guidance. I don't know how beneficial that could be, but there we go. Hormonal changes. Medical conditions, diabetes and hypertension. Medications, antidepressants, blood pressure meds. Psychological factors, stress, anxiety, depression. Relationship issues, trauma or abuse. So when I was talking about male erectile dysfunction, I stumbled upon the fact that part of the nervous system called the autonomic nervous sympathetic controls the blood flow to the lower extremities, and the messenger hormones are produced in the brainstem and the adrenal glands, right? So if you're on blood pressure medicines, which bring down your blood pressure, you're not going to have the blood pressure necessary to send enough blood to your areas that you need arousal in. Antidepressants, I would assume those are going to affect your nervous system. They kind of slow down the transmission of information between your synapses or your whatever, your nerves. It kind of slows down the transmission. That's what makes you calm down. That's what makes the anxiety go away, by lowering the transmission, in between the nerves. That's what marijuana does. That's what lithium does. And I guess that's kind of what magnesium does. That's why magnesium is a thing that people recommend a lot. But everything in moderation. Stress, anxiety, and depression. Stress is never good. Your body is not in a healing state if it's in stress. But surprisingly, the autonomic nervous system, sympathetic, not only is it connected to sexual arousal, it's also connected to your fight or flight response, which is weird. So, maybe that's why, people have some kind of fetishes where they like to be afraid, or they like to be threatened, or they like to play some kind of role where some fear is involved, because those the same part of the body is responsible for fight or flight. Now, trauma or abuse, that goes back to PTSD. These are ruminations. These are thoughts that we hold on to, sometimes physically and chemically, and that's something that I don't have enough information about to know what you can really do about that. But I don't know. Thinking positive, But let's see, age. Well, age, you can't do anything about that except try to age gracefully and control your biological age and try to maintain good function in your body overall and age gracefully. There's a certain point where SCX is not it doesn't make sense anymore, because when you kind of look at it, our hormones are raging regarding SCX desire during the years when we're at our strongest. When you're in your teens, you're just reaching a height now, you're reaching a size now where you can probably defend yourself, and now you're at the time where you can probably defend your young also. You can provide for yourself. Now you have the physicality and the dexterity to defend yourself and your offspring. So now you're at reproductive age, right? And so that's the time when the universe or the natural order of things will want you to reproduce, when you're able to provide for your children and when you're fit enough to do it. So later on you start having aches and pains, you start slowing down, and you know what I mean, and then you start having all kind of health issues. That time is not the time for you to be reproducing. The reproduction should have took place when you were in your physical prime, your physical peak, the peak of your development, when you're at the top, when you're at the plateau, not when you're coming downhill. You know what I mean? That's the time when your hormones are raging. God knows what he's doing. So later on in life, as you get old, it's really, reproducing is not something that's probably as convenient, and hopefully nobody gets offended by that. But reproducing, you're going downhill, and you're going to try to run around and take care of your kids and chase them around, or whatever. I'm talking about in a primitive kind of way. You're going to be hunting the food, you're going to go cook the food, you're going to kill the bear and the lion and all that stuff, and come back and take care and play with the child and teach him and all that, yada yada. All of that high energy stuff is for the for the 20-year-olds and the 30-year-olds, in my opinion, and then maybe a little bit of the 40-year-olds. But around 50 or so, I don't think that's a good idea to start trying to be a new parent. I'm being offensive right now, and it's not intentionally. It's just because logically I'm looking at the plateau regarding health. But thankfully we're starting to have a longevity trend going on right now, where we're trying to live longer, we're trying to get healthy. I see people out here running, I see people out here losing weight, I see people out here cutting out sugar, I see people out here eating organic, I see people out here some people are trying to get off of alcohol, but I don't really see a big movement to do that. I see people are trying to get away from eating so much plastic. I see people switching up diets and stuff like that, trying to cut out certain things. So I think that maybe we'll have more usable years, we'll have more functional years, we'll have more years where we can probably be parents, right, if you keep yourself in good health. And the older people are keeping themselves fit. They're taking care of themselves. based on the statistic I saw regarding Philippines, the older men have less impotence than the younger men. So it shows you that older people are trying to take care of themselves more. They're trying to de-stress. They're trying to eat better. They're trying to eat more real food rather than processed food and fast food and stuff like that. So forgive me if I was offensive. But, hormonal changes, menopause and pregnancy. Well, pregnancy you can't really do nothing about. You have, I spoke a little bit about postpartum depression. Postpartum depression is a real thing. There's a lot of chemicals that were moving around the woman's body during, gestation. When we have all these, and I stated that when we have all these hormones raging through us, we're a totally different animal than the animal we were before. So, anyhow, what else? According to various studies, the prevalence increases with age. The prevalence of sexual dysfunction among women increases with age. This is Meta AI saying this, not me. From 18 to 29 years old, 25 to 40% of women experience some sexual dysfunction. From 30 to 39 years old, 35 to 50% of women experience some sexual dysfunction. From 40 to 49, it's 45 to 60%. From 50 to 59, it's 55 to 70%. 60 plus years, it's 65 to 80%. But, I don't know which man's machine. I don't know if my machine will be working that far out, but later on in life, it's not something that is important. We aren't, like I was saying, we're not chemically the same person that we were at 18 years old. The kidneys aren't working all the same. The livers aren't working the same. None of that. Listen, even Byron Johnson, who is one of the most prominent and well-known age reversal, biological age gurus, he is close to my age. He's like 48, something like that. He's like 48, 40. He's like late 40s. And with all his advances, I think according to the analysis that they are doing on him, and he has to take 100 pills a day or something like that, his biological age is approximately, I don't remember. I did an episode on Byron Johnson. You got to go back and go listen to that. But his biological age is less than his actual age. I didn't find it to be significantly much less than his actual age. I think he's in his 30s. His biological age is in his 30s, even though he's in his late 40s, which is not bad. Not bad. I'm not poo-pooing it. So they had another one with race and ethnicity, but I'm not going to speak on that because that doesn't help anybody. It doesn't matter. It does matter, but I'm not going to speak on that right now. So that's all I got to say. I got to go now, and I just wanted to balance it out by speaking about female sexual dysfunction. As we can see, it's a significant amount of it is due to stress. The other part is due to medications. The other part is due to age. And then the things like hypertension, we got to stay away from the salts. We got to stay away from the sugars. Diabetes and hypertension are two of the big ones. So we got to stay away from the sugars. We got to get exercise. And we got to stay away from the salts. And we got to drink more water. So that's really what it's all about. Thanks for listening.